in 1.05, so again, that's going to be the June balance patch, they say incorporating lateral movement strategies. That sounds like they want to improve sidestepping. It just seems like they're taking the criticism to heart. What's up, guys? TheMainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and I just wanted to touch briefly on a couple of things I missed on the incredible 1.04 patch, which did a lot to fix a lot of the balancing problems we have in the game. The most obvious ones, in my opinion. Big thanks to user on Tekken Reddit, anonymous user, for making this little image here over the quick select, where we can see what happened. So basically, orange, sorry, I'm very old. I'm older than Joe Biden. Yellow, basically unchanged, although that's with modification, because King is hurt quite a bit by the counter hit property being changed on throws. You now have 14 frames to break a counter hit throw, used to be 10. So I would say that almost qualifies as one red arrow down on him due to how important throws are for him. But then you can see certain characters are green arrow up, as Jack, for example, as he's gotten buffs. Asuka got gigantic buffs, so she's 2 arrows up. I'm blocking Zafina with my sexy camera, but she should actually be 2 green arrows up, in my opinion. She got gigantic buffs. But largely, this is stuff I wanted to see. Huge nerfs to Azucena, huge nerfs to Dragunov. Pretty much the right characters got the nerfs and the right characters got buffs. Very good. Although Feng Wei got away with murder, in my opinion. He needs way more. But something I missed on my first video on this, which was not a minor fucking detail, is that 1.05, we're getting a new balance patch, a big one in June, actually, and it's gonna touch upon all of these characters that were unchanged here, like Lily, Alyssa. They mention Victor, Paul, for example. So a lot more will be happening in June, which is excellent news. But this wasn't the only big balance patch we're getting. In a month's time, we're gonna get an additional one that hopefully will do a lot again, because there's still quite a few things to be fixed. But this May patch was a gigantic leap in the right direction, so I'm very happy for this. And also something I failed to mention, we're gonna talk a little bit more about the June patch in a second. But another important thing with 1.04 is that we actually mention here in functional improvements and bug fixes that we're taking a second look at the netcode. Optimization of packet transmission and reception, as well as rollback processing during online matches. The only way I can interpret this is that we're going to try and optimize yet again the netcode. Really, really good news, because the netcode isn't as good as it should be, and I hope that this is more than fluff and empty words. I hope this leads to a significant improvement. That's what I hope for. So again, this is something that's going to come with 1.04, which drops in exactly 6 days on May the 8th. So hopefully something has been done there. And then also something that I think is really, really good news is that they mentioned right above my head there that in 1.05, so again, that's going to be the June balance patch, adjustments are planned to alleviate category 3 and enhance the value of player defensive techniques by incorporating lateral movement strategies. Lateral movement is sidestepping, so moving with depth. And adjustments to battle systems, such as throws, heat dash, heat burst, etc. So what this sounds like to me is that they are going to nerf throws again. And when they mention prior to throws, they say incorporating lateral movement strategies. That sounds like they want to improve sidestepping. Sidestepping has to be stronger. And when they mention throws immediately, it might be copium, but I hope this means that we're going to remove a homing property on throws. Because that has to go. It has no place in Tekken. 12 frame startup throws should not serve as homing attacks to shut down lateral movement. It's super dumb. I don't know what gameplay designer there thought that was a good idea. That has to go. And then they mention heat dash, and what I think they mean here is that they're going to nerf the plus frames on heat dashes. If you use a heat dash in the neutral on block, that's +5. If you use it at the wall, it's +18. I think they're going to tone that down. Because right now, the way a lot of people use this stuff is that they'll bound you at the wall, do a wall combo with heat, and as you wake up, a heat dash in your face, and now you go to -18 and take a tremendous amount of chip damage, and at -18, you obviously have to take whatever it is they're going to do. So I'm guessing they're going to nerf heat dash at the wall, is my guess. And then heat burst is getting nerfed. I wonder if this means that it's no longer going to be pretty much homing. It might also lose its tracking. But so I think everyone loves hearing we're going to enhance the value of player defensive techniques. I think we all agree that right now this game is way too aggressive. It's not only due to the fact that the S tiers lock you down too much, it's just the fact that when you add the heat smash, heat burst, chip damage, it's too easy to kill your opponent. It's just too streamlined. It's just too powerful to just press the heat trigger button. Go into heat burst, get off me. Heat smash, a streamlined option that shuts down lateral movement. They all pretty much track. They all have tremendous reach. They all have tremendous damage. They all have tremendous chip. They all have tremendous frames on block. That offense is too streamlined. Anyone can do it, and there's no real counterplay. So that sort of stuff has to go. You have to give people more defensive options. But I'm so happy that we're actually waking up to this, and it sounds like we're backpedaling a little bit on this philosophy they've had with Tekken 8, where they want the game to be super aggressive, pitbull rushdown. I think people, after a couple of months now of taking this shit, people are a little bit fed up with it. And also, you gotta realize that a lot of casuals, you know, and the people who played this game day one, they're gone now. I understand why they put in heat burst, heat smash, and a buffed rage art. Streamlined options that anyone can use, even an infant. But those guys aren't playing the game anymore, and now you're gonna make this game work, and this game has to be satisfying at the esports competitive level. Now is when you start buffing defensive options, right? So I think we're sort of waking up to what they have to do, and we're going to do necessary adjustments. But so yeah, I just wanted to say that the May patch here that we got was great. But in June, it seems like significant things will happen in June as well. So yeah, I just wanted a video on that. That this, the May patch was very optimistic for me. I was very happy to see what they did. And I'm hoping that the patch in June is just as positive for the game. Because Tekken 8, you know, we've given this game a lot of shit. In my opinion, people have been a little bit too doomer around it, like talking about it like it's the worst Tekken game of all time. This game is so easily the best Tekken game of all time. It's just that certain design decisions have to be backpedaled. They were just stupid. And some of the balancing has been really bad. But again, we also have to remember that this is the only Tekken game to never have an arcade run. So it's sort of unfair to compare this game to prior Tekken games, because this game, it had a network test, it had a beta, but that was only a few days, and then it dropped. You know, so all things considered, I think they've done a decent job, but it just seems like they're taking the criticism to heart, which is great. So again, happy with May patch and can't wait to see what the June patch does. I'm hoping it's another step in the right direction and Tekken 8 can be the amazing game I know it can be. Yeah. So, good stuff.